Let's now talk about given and new information, which are important aspects of information structure in a text. There are two major kinds or categories of information we find in a text, and these main categories may be divided into given information and new information. Given information may be seen as something which is already available to the addressee, or may be assumed to be available to the addressee. Or in other words, we can say which is currently at the time of talk, which is currently in the mind of the addressee, the person we are talking to. If we talk something to somebody and we assume somebody is already there in his mind, or we are sure of it, that is probably the given information. New information is something which is introduced new in a discourse or in a piece of interaction. I elaborate this point further by sharing this example which is in front of you. If you just say Alina, one of the participants, says, "Who ate the biscuits?" And Maria says, "Hassan ate the biscuits." You can see that Hassan in this sentence is a new information because it was not available previously, and it was introduced by Maria in the second sentence as a response to Alina's inquiry. So Alina didn't know about Hassan, otherwise she wouldn't have asked who ate the biscuits. So when Maria said it's Hassan who ate the biscuits, Hassan becomes the new information. Simultaneously, let's think, what is the given information here? If you just try to think it again, you will find that the biscuits are the given information here, because it can be presumed to be in the mind of Alina, who has introduced it in the previous turn. So biscuits are said to be, in this particular example, are said to be the given information which were already present and was understood by the addressee. Given information can be realized in condensed forms also, and this is a linguistically condensed form, because we don't have to produce complete sentences in order to convey a given information, and that is one of the identity markers of given information also, that these may be presented in a short form or in a condensed form. For example, the example I've just shared with you in the second turn, which was spoken by Maria, you could see she would have just said, when Alina asked who ate the biscuits, she would have said Hassan only. Had she said Hassan only, Alina would have understood, yes, it's Hassan who ate the biscuits. She would have said Hassan did it, or Hassan did only. There could be a condensed form instead of saying Hassan ate the biscuits. So we can see that given information can be conveyed in a condensed form. Given information can also be realized by a single speaker in a single sentence. For example, speaker says, "A man called while you were on your break. He said he would call back later." So the same speaker have realized, he has given the information, the given information, and in this sentence you can see the highlighted he represents given information, because the speaker has assumed that he is referring to is already in the mind of the speakers, or the speaker currently knows about the speaker is talking about. So he might be treated as a given information in this example. A piece of information need not to be explicitly mentioned in order to become a given information. Sometimes information given information may be conveyed in an implied manner also. Information is sometimes taken as a given because of its close association with something that has been introduced into the discourse. If we're reading a lengthy discourse which is larger than few sentences, so we keep on creating coherent links between between various pieces of that text. How a text develops, it keeps on building relationships with the previous text. And that's where we assume that how the given information has been provided here. For example, when a noun phrase is introduced into a discourse, all the subparts of the referent can be treated as given information. When we know to whom noun phrase is referring to, then all the references or referents used for that, we could understand them. And this is how we understand the given information in a certain text, by looking into how a text progresses towards its culmination. For example, in this example, we see when Kent returned my car last night, the gas tank was nearly empty and the glove compartment was stuffed with candy wrappers. So you can see the underlined stuff. We have a noun phrase in the beginning, which and then the remaining underlined stuff is referring back to the same noun phrase. So by knowing the first noun phrase, for example, by knowing my car here, we can understand that the gas tank, the glove compartment belong to the same car we have already introduced in the discussion. So by knowing the sequence of the ideological or idea development in a discourse, we can understand given information properly. So this may be considered as a technical clue to understand given information in a certain discourse.